If you see a name on a poster as a DJ and they send you the lineup and there's a name that you're supposed to play right after, you better hope that it's not LeSoul. Because ladies and gentlemen, in the house today, we've got LeSoul. Make some noise. How are you doing?
I'm good. I'm
Grand.
tired. Yo, I'm so tired, but yeah, we made it.
No, you have to be tired, Joe, because you're playing with 3 CDJs.
Yeah, it's always fun.
You are not resting.
Ish, telling you. Yesterday I had a gig, but I'm glad I made it here.
Serious?
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Where were you playing?
I was at Zoo. There was a party there. Gucci was launching something there.
Oh yeah, I saw
that.
It
was a nice soiree, but I mean, sometimes funny will happen. I should have left a lot earlier, but hey,
you're here now.
Our life, yeah.
Now, big shout out to you. Thank you for honoring the invite, man. This is a massive
me.
privilege for me and all the AJ's House subscribers and residents. Thank you for what a heavy set, man. I'm just gonna I always have to go through this thing.
Yeah.
Just please introduce yourself and where you're from, and then we can get into it.
LeSoul is I was born in Kwamashu, raised there. The only thing I could see around me was music because I was born in the church, father preacher, then I started playing.
You're a PK.
Yeah, full on PK.
Of course, she's a PK.
And my church didn't have like a pianist at a certain point, and then I had to just find my way around it. Started playing piano at church, I think, at the age of 14.
Yeah.
And I think that's where that relationship with music started. Besides being back up in the choir, I couldn't really sing. I was just there. But I think where I found my love was at the church. Playing piano. Then exposed myself to other, pianists. And when you go, obviously, on the websites, on YouTube, you search people that you admire in the piano industry, like the people who play good keys, like play well, like your Jacob Colliers, and then when you look at those people, algorithm takes place, then you start seeing other sounds, discovering other sounds. That's how I found out about house music. So it all started there. The rest is history. Yeah.
So I'm guessing that's also where the name LeSoul comes from. Because of the
Soulful House. That's what we used to play. Back then, Soulful House could play at like 1 a.m. It wasn't a problem. Yeah. So that's what I started playing, and I had fun with it. I'm not gonna lie.
No, that's dope. Okay, you're talking about the soulfulness now. I'm going to bring it back to your set. The soulfulness was like right at the beginning for like 2 songs and right at the end for 2 songs. And the rest of it, we party.
Yeah.
What inspires the sound that you gave us in your set?
So I like telling a story, right? If Unkala, I want to ease you into a set. I believe in building a set. You just can't come in, then it's bang, 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 And when you tell a story, like, you have to bring out your entire persona, and the piano, the keyboards, the soulfulness, I had to, because it played a huge role in my life. And then obviously I was influenced by a little bit of tribal music as I grew into, the industry, as I got to know more sounds. So that you'd hear at the end, obviously, with Amabele and all of that. And, hard drum. I'm a huge fan of hard drum, but it always just works right at the end of the set, the peak of the set. And then if you want to end off a set on a good note, you'd rather just go spiritual.
I've got you. I've got
you.
you.
Mark, that's how.
So you're one of those, not just female DJs, but one of those DJs that actually produces in studio. Like Amabele, there's a role you actually played with playing the keys and all of that.
Yeah, so I make my own music.
Dope.
Amabele was...
dope.
The birth of Amabele was quite crazy. I was up at 2 a.m. in studio. I was alone, and a friend of mine, Novertic, from Deep Narratives, was also up. So he tweeted like a 30-second snippet, and it went do, 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 and it reminded so much about tribal. And it's like, I don't know where to take this. And I'm like, yo, send that thing now. And he sent me the stem. And then I worked on it, I think, until like 9 a.m. in the morning from 2. When I was done with it, I was like, it's missing something. I called Black Rhythm Umbuso. He's dope, by the way, like someone to really look out for. Black Rhythm was like, yo, I'm in studio. He still worked with Destruction Boys back in the days at Westville. And I was like, yo, I'm coming now, Went to studio, and then he just listened to the entire song. Umbuso is one of those geniuses when it comes to arrangement. He's like a Chima music, He's the cherry on top for a song. And then he was like, yo, I'm going to work on this today, and then I'll let you know what happens. Went back to sleep. He calls me, I think it was 12 p.m. He's like, yo, TNS just walked into studio and recorded to this. TNS and I have a history, obviously, because I made him Ayabonga.
Yes. Serious?
I even sang on the song.
Come on.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I even sang on Ayabonga, and then he wrote me the lyrics. He's another genius. So he was like, yo, I can't miss out on this song because you also did me a solid when I needed you, for my album. So it worked out like that. It just made sense after he recorded. It works better when we work together. And then, the song started making, waves, and we were just playing it at clubs. And we were like, okay, this one is the one. And we dropped it. And I think I'm never going to forget how that song came about. But everything else, like most of the stuff in my album, I solely produced. There's so many. So many songs. If I can mention a few, I made one with Kosazana, daughter.
So that
intro. That's why I played keys. I mean, that's just layers I like to peel of myself. I played keys on that intro, and then we extended it and it put Azana on the song as well. Sebenza, I made Senkatele with Kaya Mtetwa. I made a song with Omakuku and Ndutuzo Makatini, who I also look up to plays keys. So there's quite a few of them, but I believe in learning from other people. So whenever there's like a thing I don't understand, or if I feel like I'm missing something, I'll call the best in the game and be like, yo, please help me out with this. I'm not sure how to take this or where to go with this. So that's how it always works with me.
Yo, that's massive. Okay, this is all wild to me.
Yeah.
So you dropped Soul Awakening, right?
Yeah.
I think last year.
Yeah, last year.
Yeah. All right, but you were dropping singles as you were going along with it, right? You're massive. Why did you title it Soul Awakening firstly?
So it's just a relationship between Amabele, then from Amabele to Higher Frequencies. Higher Frequencies is the EP that launched Amabele. Higher Frequencies had your Senkatele, it had your Ingos. So it was more like a tribal spiritual album that was higher frequencies, I believe music is more than just sound. It's not just something you listen to now and it's like, oh, okay, this sounds nice. If something evokes you in studio, if a song moves you in studio, the chances of it moving someone outside of studio are high. And music is actually frequency, and it could be a whole different conversation on its own. But I believe that about the 440 frequency.
No, 440.
So 440HZ is like, it's a frequency that's more friendly to the ear. It's the sound when you play. That's what most radio stations even subscribe to. There's a 430, there's a 440, there's hard drum, but that one is the one that's more easy on the ear, easy listening. As soon as you listen to it, you feel some type of way, But it's always a good feeling. It evokes good emotions. It evokes either spiritual but good emotions, The type of songs you hear during the day on radio, like easy listening, nice stuff. And I like those, playing with those frequencies, and I like playing with.
How do you find those frequencies? Sorry for interrupting you.
So it's just.
Is it a key thing? Is it a
more than a key thing? It's just how it makes you feel, and then it's the science behind music, and that's why rock music will always have like a niche following, because not everyone can relate or resonate with the sound. It evokes dark emotion, and that's why there's like alternative genres, and alternative genres are far more hard to understand. But then when they bring it back home, and add elements that sound nicer and feel nicer, then they become hits, then they become world tracks. It's a whole conversation on its own. But
listen, I don't mind if this whole interview is about this conversation, because I'm learning so much about that, and it's answering so many questions in my mind, because there's like there are. Let me just put it like this. Okay, you're from KZN, but I'm sure you can relate somehow.
Yeah.
This whole Amapiano thing came, right?
Movement.
And there was just some people that were like jumped into that,
Yeah.
and there's just some people that just couldn't. You
Yeah.
couldn't even explain why.
Yeah, I
you can
get
vibe to it, but you can't go into studio and make the song. You can't completely keep listening to that, and you go for something more like Afro tech or whatever. It's the same conversation, right?
But even with it, I think that even with Amapiano, I listen to Amapiano. I like, first of all, like a big shout out to the guys who are making piano.
Of course, yeah.
The more genres we give birth to, the better it becomes for us as musicians. You know, it's a great time to be a musician in any case. And it's just a good extension to what South Africa already does, and we make great music, you know. And the more we get to, you know, plug and plant our seed all around the world, you know, the better for our industry, and then it really becomes a business for us all. But even with piano, you find eline log drum cool, and then maybe a Calvin Momo will come by, or a mass music will come in, and you just want to relax when you listen to it. But then even lele eline log drum cool limnandi, but there's a certain time for it. You know, it's frequency. It's frequency. You can't just wake up and bang, bang, bang. You can, but it just feels a whole lot better when it progresses.
Yeah.
There's like sessions to it, you know. So I think it's just that. And then now piano and Afrotech, for some reason, is merging, and I love it. Kwamama, there's songs like Kwamama.
Yeah, shout out
Tonic is making
Black,
something.
yeah, shout out
Black.
Yeah,
Shout out
Taxin, of
you
course.
know,
Yeah.
You know. And that's great. It's just about shows that there are no limits to this thing. There are no limits to it. As long as we know how to play with the sounds, then we're good.
Yeah. Doc, you know, I was having a conversation with Bobby.
Yeah.
And we're just talking about, like, you know how there's this whole 3-step thing that people are talking about now. And I was like, but Amabele had that whole 3-step vibe already going there.
Yeah,
So do you feel as though it's already been a thing, and someone like Taxin might have found a certain sound that brought out something in the thing? Or do you feel as though... Yeah, I'm not sure if my question is making sense.
Yeah. So it comes from tribal music, you know. Music is so recyclable, and when you give birth to it all over again, it just sounds better because then it's with the times. It's kept up with the times. So I think the 3-step thing, you know, has always been a thing. And at a certain time, we love broken beats, you know. When they stand the foot, you know, like easy sounds, you know, like your normal progression, 8-bar, and then now it's like, you know, the 3-step. You know, everybody wants to hear that thing, you know. And no one really could say who gave birth to it, but I mean, it's great to have it back. You know, it sounds nice. Yeah.
Dog, man, I've been following you for some time now, right?
Yeah.
And it's so dope to actually hear you speak like this, because now I'm like, you're a music person. Yeah. And now I can be like, okay, now I understand why she's in a stable like Soulistic, you know?
Yeah.
Because I've been trying to put that together. Yeah. How did Grootman Black Coffee, or how did you get to Soulistic? That's what I'm trying to figure out.
It's crazy because lockdown gave birth to so much, but then also, you know, it was a blessing and a curse in disguise. I don't know how to put it, because in lockdown we were all struggling, and you know, Shimza one day calls me and he's like, shout out to him, by the way, always makes that one call. He called me and he's like, are you in Joburg? I'm like, yeah, actually I'm in Joburg. You know? And he's like, okay, I need you to come through tomorrow. I'm shooting this thing called Lockdown House Party. It's doing really, really well. Then I was like, yo, dog, I'll do it for free, you know? He paid me up. It's nice. But
that was dope, actually, because I was also like, I'll do it for free. And then he's like,
no, he paid
cool
me.
guy.
If there's an opportunity, I mean, I don't weigh opportunities only based on the fact that it's revenue, you know? I always just look at an opportunity as an opportunity. So went there, Mangfiga, I played, and I had fun, you know? And then I think then there was just like a lot of hype around the name. Oh, played a nice set. And then Dogozo Pungula hit me up. He was like, yo, there's an interest in the stable, and this is how it is, and they would like to have you a part of Soulistic. I'm like, what?
That's crazy.
You know? Obviously, it was a process, and then contract materialized over time. And then I worked with them. I'm no longer with Soulistic, however, now.
Oh, really? Okay.
Look, I love what they've done with me. I love the work that we've done together. I actually left them last month. The contract ended last month. And I feel like if I'm always there, I'm always just going to be the person under Black Coffee. It's time for LeSoul to take her own. Grootman has done so much, and a huge shout out for him for unlocking spaces that we never even thought anyone could unlock. But I'm also trying to take over, you know. So this is a one on EB.
Nice. That's a dope one. All right, man. Okay, I'm trying to piece things together now, right? you've got a crazy fashion sense. I'm sorry, I'm in a basic hoodie, like
You're basic today.
Adidas sneakers, and but you're somehow making it work. Were you always a fashion person?
I did not even know. Promise you, I'm practical, right?
Yeah.
So I can resonate with someone who wears a heel every day, and someone who wears a denim pants every day, or someone who wears formal clothing. But it's all about comfort at the same time. So I've always just been comfortable in what I wear, and I feel like it's the best way to dress. It's the best confidence to wear outside. When you step in the room, how you take care of yourself shows. If you make poor lifestyle choices, if you make like poor cleanliness choices, as soon as you step into the room, we'll be able to see. So at least look neat. At least. So then, of course, the people you hang around will always like influence what type of fashion sense you have. There are things you'll pick out from them, and a big shout out for them as well. I have friends who really, really like dressing up and like dressing up nice, being presentable.
Name drop.
Alex King, I think he dresses really nice. He's a good friend of mine. Not even out there, but just, I think even in the stable Soulistic, everybody dressed nice. I mean, come on, there was Rich Misi, Trevor Stearman, Q, Destruction Boys, Da Capo was there at some point, Da Africa Deep was there at some point. So, I mean, everybody kind of has a personality, and then you just pick up what you need from all of that. And in the outside world as well, I see stuff, and then we buy what we can afford, obviously.
You can afford everything, clearly.
It's just,
or when you come to Joburg, is it like a small street thing?
No. I'm actually between cities, and I'm here and in Durban.
Yeah.
But I actually don't go out to the mall and shop. I'm just always on my phone. It's a bad thing. My partner's always like, why? But why?
Yeah.
Are you on your phone again? She'd probably turn around and be like, are you on your phone shopping again? Yeah.
You said your partner, and you said she.
Yeah.
I just lost the
Definitely.
bet. I just lost the bet. I've got this friend, right? She's bi, and she had like a biggest crush on you.
Yeah.
And I was like, no, it's for us, trust me. And then we had this whole debate. I'm like, she's coming through to AJ's house. I'll ask her personally. And thanks. I just lost like 100.
No, I believe in love, man. I believe in love. I've always believed in love. I think it's a great time to be alive right now, where everyone can freely just be happy. And I'm just hoping, obviously, society gets to move forward like how everyone else has. It's a tough conversation to have with people who are traditional and are religious and understand.
And this is the time to have it, because isn't it Pride Month right now?
Yeah, it is Pride Month right now. Yeah, so it's a great time, but it's also a very dangerous time, obviously, for the community. And I also respect everyone who's out there just living their truth, because it's not the easiest thing to do.
I can imagine.
It's not the easiest thing to do,
Any challenges you've gone through?
No, man, I've just always just done whatever I want to do, No one's ever treated me some type of way because, I think it's also because I'm very confident in what I represent and who I am, People should know my work, and nothing else should matter afterwards, I've always just been me. No one's ever even found the need to ask beyond, okay, so what's the vibe, After that, it's just like, oh, sharp, okay, bye.
I've got you.
Like it's always like that, so...
All right, man. Also, on a lighter note, you've got like the dopest tattoos I've seen. What's your favorite? Let's do a tattoo check real quick. And let's get a camera. I'm sorry that it's winter right now, so she's all covered up, but the tattoos are crazy. You've got some tattoos on your right leg, I'm thinking.
I've got
what's the left leg?
Yeah, full sleeve on my
I can put it here. We want to get it there in the camera.
Fully.
Fresh. There's a whole astronaut there. Please explain quickly.
So I believe in astrology. I really love astrology. I love space. I love just discovering other galaxies when I'm in my own corner. Besides making music, I've got like a nice telescope at the house. I'm part of a group of
serious.
Yeah, of
so the scientist on your Instagram page is not there by mistake.
So I'm just one of those people who just likes discovering a world beyond what we know. I love reading. I think it all comes from just liking conserving our nature. I'm very clean. I'm very OCD. So even like when I see a piece of paper, whatever, outside, like I pick it up because I just believe in cleanliness.
I've got you.
I've got a whole background that I love doing initiatives that are about just living in a space that's much cleaner than we see, and it's making it, sustaining it in a way. And I love galaxies. I love studying about the stars. I like the moon, the different types of segments and just how it gets to sunrise. Sunset, I just love studying about space, but more than anything, it's a great escape for me. I used to be a biker.
Are you sick?
Yeah,
dog, where does your dopeness end, bruh? Where does it end?
Prince Cape, I'm like, so Prince Cape be riding a bike. I'm like, I'm not going back. So the story behind my very sexy scars.
Is that? What happened there?
Bike accident. I thought I was Schumacher at some point. Yeah, but anyway, I had fun with it, and it's just yak Jova, so you don't want to stop. But it's a great escape. So I found a different escape, which is music, and then just reading about astrology and all of that. Yeah.
You really put yourself in every situation and go inside.
Adrenaline. I get too invested, I think.
Yeah. Because, I mean, everything you've done to like the core, to the very, very end. That is insane, man. Man, I had a question. I lost it. I've got a question here down that side. The bike questions. No, dog. She said she stopped. I also stopped, bro. I'm grand.
You were a biker?
Yeah, I had 3 bikes.
You had 3? Oh, that's like full on. Which bike did you have?
I had, my first bike was like a Chinese bike. It was like a 250cc just to get around.
Oh, 250 is actually a good speed. Yeah.
And then it was a Suzuki GSXR. 600.
Yeah.
And then, almost got a Ducati, a Panigale.
Oh.
But while I was on it, I was like, it's too much now.
I think I should have settled for like maybe a Boulevard or a Harley Davidson, a cruiser.
Nice,
because it's much slower. But I think I never owned a bike, so I inherited it, from someone who was a close family friend. And
what bike did you inherit?
Well, I inherited an RR. But the first edition, a
Honda?
BMW RR.
Oh, BMW.
Yeah.
Ooh.
And I had fun with it, but then,
You inherited an RR?
Yeah.
From who?
I never had to buy, like a family friend, a close family friend, who knew my father. My
father first
also,
bike was a 1000cc.
Exactly, and that's why I fell.
Of course. Dog. No, I understand. That's what would happen. I'm not sure if you saw there's like a very old Beamer outside.
I didn't see it.
There's like an old M3 that I inherited, right?
Oh,
and it was almost same situation.
Yeah?
Like you can't move from a normal thing and then
Of course.
inherit these things and then you think you're gonna be fine down the road. Almost died. Insane things, man. Okay, no, we're still with your tattoos.
Yeah.
So you've got that down there.
Yeah. So then I've got like the different things. I'm Cancerian.
Okay.
I see you 6'9", guys. It's a Cancerian sign, zodiac sign. This is my bunny. Represents my partner.
Nice.
Love art.
Love
I've
art.
got art on my chest. Yeah. So
is there a reason that's there and that's there?
Yeah. I love what I do, but it's right here.
Dope,
So,
dope.
and then it's just like the different galaxies. Ngamsile, this is my late mom. And then this is, a UFO. And then somehow this guy is here. I think this is me being picked up by a UFO because I just feel like, I just feel like, we don't know where life will take us.
Of course,
you know what I mean? So,
of course.
and then there's a dice here. And it represents taking chances, So
that's dope. That's dope. And obviously the crucifix is your background.
Of course.
Yeah.
Have to, yeah.
And then is that it?
Yeah, no, there's a lot. This is my flower garden, and then I have a ghost here at the back. Of course, because it ghost. But I didn't finish it. I think when I started this tattoo, I thought I was gonna, just go through with it, and then just extending, finding other things. I think this is probably the most painful part.
I can imagine the bone there, yeah.
And I told him no saying right.
Great.
Just put that silhouette in right.
That's dope. So, but most of them are surrounded around science.
Science, flower garden, I love flowers, like my love for nature. And then here, the galaxy is my third eye. Third eye represents higher frequency. When I did higher frequency, before I did high frequency, actually, I was going through like this whole trance thing, my two sides of the family are very different. My mom's side, I believed still believes in ancestral worship. Yes, God, but closer to God are our ancestors, and they can better pass messages to them. And that's why mangabe Sam we pray to God, and then we ask them to assist, And then my father's side is strictly Christian, and so you can imagine two worlds like I don't even know why they decided to do what they did. Yeah, but my father's side is like really Christian, and even goes to as far as like there's churches and stuff. But I guess it's great for me because I got to experience both worlds and then decide who or what God is to me.
Got you.
Yeah, and so during higher frequencies, I was just like going through the whole thing of trying to understand the higher powers and what they are, who they are. Why do we cry to God first when we're in a situation and it happens automatically, that type of stuff? Why do you shout his name? You don't just say Awema, but in most cases when you're really going through it, it's like, God, why? Type of thing. It's just like a sixth sense that we have. It happens automatically. I was just trying to understand all of that. And I still don't understand it, but I mean, it's always good to understand thyself first before anything else. And then when you step into a room and when you're around people, you don't become a heavy energy, like a negative heavy energy. You have to know what type of energy you exude all the time, and it's crazy. But yeah, I'm weird, but yeah, it's fine.
Man, this might be my best interview, dog. So I wanted to ask you something while we're still talking about science. What's your take on this whole Ocean Gate thing?
I just saw memes,
Yeah.
I just saw memes of now photos that have been recycled in the Maskandi field, where it's like ingane zama submarine, abafana bama submarine, and it's like a group of people.
Yeah.
Look, man, we can never understand nature, especially the ocean.
The depths of the ocean.
The one thing that I think would kill us is water. It's more powerful than fire. You know what I mean? It's more powerful than anything else in the world. It's the heaviest but lightest thing. You know what I mean? Our bodies exist because we are 70% water. You know what I mean? The rest is just a layer of skin. As soon as you cut me, then and then it's bone to balance it out. But our bodies even are man's. So under the ocean, we never know what happens. I don't know what was in their minds when they decided to go. But it's a loss. Obviously, losing humans isn't good. But what are we losing them to? Because then there are submarines under the water. Are fish and sharks not being affected by all of those engines running underneath? You know what I mean? It's like a chain thing, a food chain thing, and then no one really can claim more moral high ground. But there's a reason why the ocean should just be left as the ocean.
True.
You know what I mean? Just leave it there. Let it be there.
You don't seem like the type of person that would leave it there had you gotten the opportunity to jump in a submarine.
No, I would never go into a way. No, I so dark, yeah. No, yeah. That things that you look at and you're like, maybe not, But it's just one of those things. I mean, there are things that are meant for us to do, and there are things I think it's good to want to find out what's happening outside of us and what maybe going back in history, but it's also just okay to let things be.
All right, dope. I've got you. All right, man. So we've got to wrap it up. Upcoming projects, what are we looking at?
Upcoming projects, I am working on something right now, calling a few artists, on my bucket list. I really would love to work with Mau. We are talking at the moment.
Dope.
So I've just made a composition and sent it to her, and I was like, when you're ready, she hit me up. She was like, yo, actually tomorrow, 24th, she is going to be in Durban. I'm also playing in Durban. I'm like, okay, after your sessions, after your gigs, just let me know. I'll be in studio. So hopefully something great materializes out of that. And I also am really, really hoping I get to work with Anati. Musically, I just think he's different. And
sorry, before we jump into that, I just remembered something. And I think I also picked it up in your set and started understanding. You've got a song, La, with Stilo Makolite. And I wanted to ask you, why Stilo? I
actually wanted him on a different song. And then when I took the vocals out, now Faga on the other song, it just made sense, It's the same thing I was saying earlier, that, there's no need to limit music. And there's so much that could happen if we just sit down and work together. We give birth to so much more. And I think Stilo is dope. Also, it's just the work ethic. You know, it's one person when I said, yo, I met him, not for the first time, but like we met up at Shelf Life. I was like, yo, I would like to do something with you. And he's like, yo, drop it, Debo. I sent him something immediately. He was like, I'm going to record it today. Recorded the same day. You know, I like that type of work ethic. Recorded same day, sent it back to me. And he was super to find out how far are we with it, you know, when's the project, when's the drop, all of that, you know, like I really like people who take their work seriously. And it just worked out. And then Narratives was like, you can't leave us out of this one. And then they added the you know, they elements. You hear it on Umsi as well. Yes. So they added those elements. They've got nice tribal, hard-hitting tribal sounds. Shout out to them.
Yeah.
So we just also wanted to work beyond Amabele because we hadn't made anything after Amabele with Narratives. And
it's been a while, right? Since Amabele dropped,
Yeah, they've been dropping their own stuff as well. I know they're working on something right now. I'm not a part of this current project, but also it's a different type of project. It's like a narrative. Like if you know Narratives.
Yeah.
It's
they
like
really,
Narratives. So I let them do their thing.
All right, man. LeSoul, shout out to you for coming through, man. We love you here. We appreciate you. You're doing a great job, man. It was an amazing conversation I had. Too short. And hopefully we can wrap it up some other time.
Yeah,
you know?
Definitely.
Big shout out to you, and we wish you all the best.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Shout out. AJ's house.